Children who have cerebral palsy are not understood by members of the community.
To me, it is the hardest disability among the characteristics of disability.
What goes on inside the premise of Cerebral Palsy Society of Kenya requires commitment, and we have a dedicated team who work effortlessly to ensure the comfort of children under their care. The center was started to offer therapy and rehabilitate children with cerebral palsy.
Started by parents way back 25 years to be precise. The main objective is to rehabilitate children who are afflicted by cerebral palsy. So what we do is we have a clinic where parents bring children for therapy. We also started a special school based on the need, because most of the children who have cerebral palsy cannot be admitted in the mainstream schools. We have counseling services for the parents and the entire family. We also have an outreach program where therapists visit children in their respective homes, because those are the children who have outgrown and cannot be carried to the clinic.
Due to the need they have been able to start other centers to reach a wider audience.
What we are trying to do is to decentralize the service so that the parents services are taken closer to the parents. In that respect, we have opened a branch in Kamulu to take care of Kamulu, Joska, Mala, and those areas, including Roy.
The admission process starts with assessment.
I work with the parents, assess the new clients who come for their first time at the clinic. After assessing them, then I have the home visit program where I visit the parents to know their homes, where they come from, the situation on ground, and assessing them to identify the gaps. Some of them, they come from informal settlements, like Kayole, Soweto, Huruma. We have pipeline. So I normally visit them to see what they are undergoing economically, so that in case of anything, any kind of help, we can chip in as a society to support them. Because we understand the cases of cerebral palsy, they are very delicate and sometimes very difficult to handle.
He might not be able to refer all the cases to their center, but he gives advice where needed.
Giving that the recommendation on how to admit and who is not to admit, it is I don't give such recommendation, because we have our own occupational therapists who do that work. And if the case is from a distance, from far, let's say from Kasarani, we normally give them referrals to the nearest centers.
Cerebral palsy cases are many, but sometimes people do not know how to handle such, and thus they are termed as a burden.
Yes, parents of children afflicted by cerebral palsy go through a number of problems, which of course makes it difficult for them to be able to cope. One of them is discrimination and stigma. Majority of our people, or the community where we live, people really don't understand. They associate cerebral palsy to witchcraft or another form of taboos, which they think that this either the family or the child was cursed or something. And for that reason, then you find that the family is isolated, and even when the family members attempt to, for example, expose the child, the members of the public tend to run away as if they are seeing something that is totally different from a human being.
Even the house helps, or the caregivers, the ones that parents get. You employ somebody today, in the morning, in the evening, or even in the middle of the day, you are called. your child is in the house, I'm going, because of the condition. So to me, I will say cerebral palsy, most of the people fear it.
Stella interacts with these children and has a positive report.
It is not a mental problem. If it is managed with therapies well and also early intervention, they are just like other normal children. Because cerebral palsy children, one, they are not violent. They don't know how to offend you, but they also have feelings. Sometimes they get offended. It is only that they cannot tell you they have been offended. But now, because I'm one of the special educators, I can tell you this one is not happy today. This one, today, it is like something is wrong.
One thing that puts off parents and caregivers is the expenses attached to this condition.
Raising a child with cerebral palsy is very, very expensive. Majority of the cases of children with cerebral palsy come with accompanying conditions like epilepsy, which requires drugs on a daily basis. And in cases where, for example, one parent has left, which these are the main cases, some of the cases we are faced with on a daily basis. Majority of the children are left with mothers. So then the mother has no house help, has no income, therefore because she's not working, and then now she's confined at home with no income and with a child with special needs.
Most of them are on medication, what I forgot to say. So their medicines are too expensive. And therapies, some were supposed to receive 3 sessions, and getting that, getting finances to support them, it has been hard. Sometimes even the parents withdraw their children from school because of the little fees. We thought it can help fuel the van so that their children may be picked.
However, that does not deter them from taking care of the children, as well wishes always come in to give a hand. To ensure that they get to the center and back home safely, we talked to Samuel, who is in charge of logistics.
Since I joined here, it was my first time to see kids with cerebral palsy. So I learned what cerebral palsy is and how to take care of the kids and everything which involves disability. Kwa gari lazima umfunge vizuri, make sure amestabilize, like unapata wengine migongo yao haiko sawa, so lazima kuna vile utamfunga kwa gari.
His greatest worry are our roads.
Barabara nyingi in Nairobi so far at least inatengenezwa, but watoto wetu mali wanaishi wengi si kuzuri, so lazima uwe tu careful kwa barabara, sababu mashimo nini, so lazima wapeleke tu polepole hadi wafike.
The number of admission to the center is rising, and hence the need for a bigger space.
Right now we are operating from a rented premises. It is congested. We even don't have space. But we are appealing to Kenyans. One of the things we're going to do is to fundraise seriously. We are starting this year with the work which is taking place on 29th. And then the fundraising activities will go on for 5 years to come, which is supposed to be directed at acquiring a piece of land and constructing or setting up what we would call the Cerebral Palsy Center. Our dream is to have a 3-in-1 center, which will have an orthopedic hospital, special school fully with hostels, and then a business center. The business center is supposed to create income or generate income to run the other activities of the center.
I started with an empty class. By the end of the year, we were having 21 learners, all of them with the cerebral palsy. 2016, we were more than 21. So you can see the numbers were increasing
The center also does not admit only cerebral palsy cases.
We've decided we are not limiting only cerebral palsy. We discovered most children are being locked in the houses because no caregivers were accepting to take care of their children. Nobody, no schools are accepting our children, and we came up with this idea.
To also reduce the overpopulation in special schools, the government needs to equip mainstream schools with resources to ensure that special need cases are well accommodated.
Mainstreaming, we integrate, we liaise with other regular schools which will accept our children if now we take them through in what we are doing. Though it is a challenge, because they don't have that knowledge, they seem to be reluctant of taking our children. But because we've known this boy or this girl has the potential, we will be wasting her sitting here, and she can do better if the government is advocating for these children to be included. Why are other schools rejecting them? We will say they don't have that knowledge. Why can't the government allow those teachers to go and take in that course?
The care for cerebral palsy children also extends to their parents and caregivers.